Do you know why Drishyam the first part was a successful movie after being a remake? For the climax? Yes, that's one of the reasons, but mostly for its usage of every single bit of the narrative to the main plot. Over a decade, still, that's the benchmark. Why I'm telling this in this review of VADH, that I'll come to later in this video. The spiritual sequel of one of the most critically acclaimed 2022 movies, VADH, hits the big screens, having the same main lead as the previous ones. Spiritual sequel because it's not a continuation of the previous part, so if you are being manipulated by the trailer, then go appreciate that editing of it in the comments. That's how you promote and bank a sequel movie. Without giving any spoilers, if I'm telling you about this movie, then it revolves around a missing criminal from the cells, and the characters of this world are speculated to be connected with it. The movie is technically outstanding from every single aspect. It has been a long time since I have seen something this well crafted. The camera work combined with the color grading adds an extra edge. The scores are exceptional. Score heavy thrillers like this are very rare in this industry. I can't recall any example at this moment. If you have anything in your mind, please let me know in the comments. The sharp editing also added to the overall experience. The combination of all these elements significantly heightened the anticipation. Then there's the casting, which primarily centers on Sanjay Mishra as Shambhunath. He excels in these serious roles, delivering a powerful performance. The constrained submerged performance that has been needed to pull off such characters, he did that finely. The other characters got decent amount of screen time but not in the focus, mainly revolving around the investigation, so there is nothing special to mention. Sanjay Mishra and Neena Gupta's pairing, though brief, radiated a sense of innocence and purity that lingers long after the film ends. You know what? These actors truly shine when transitioning from comedy to serious roles. Their performance reminded me of this famous dialogue from another legend.
Comedy is a serious business.
Such well-established characters without having any significant individual moments, that's called the beauty of the writing of this movie. The characters and situations were developed gradually, allowing them to progress at their own pace while effectively incorporating pauses. One of the standout aspects is how the camera remains focused on the characters, which is unfortunately quite rare in today's sequel films. This technique contributed significantly to the emotional build-up alongside the characters. An unhinged character was also established, but if you observe its introduction, then you might understand that it's harmful for those who can't retaliate. And that symbolism was throughout the first half. And I kid you not, don't lose your attention on the movie. Take it as a warning, okay? This is the kind of thriller where the characters aren't the antagonist, but the situations and how the leads are solving them. Being a spiritual sequel, it had mostly the template of its first part, but the amplification with the blend of social angles and revenge was done in such a way that it looked like a cakewalk. Things were so simple, yet the treatment to depict those on the screens will make you be on the edge of your seat. But being diluted have the cost of getting caught before the twists. Like if you are a pro audience in this domain of thrillers, then you might have sensed the twist. But I can guarantee that all can work for everybody only because of the treatment. Having multiple characters with such curious situation, the director Jaspal Singh Sandhu, who was also the director of the first installment by the way, took one step at a time to flourish his exact written material, which has worked. And it will tenfold the excitement with the use of multiple elements that have been scrambled throughout the movie and subsumed in the end without being accentuated. Just like the movie Drishyam, the Hindi or the Malayalam versions are still a cult not only because of the climax where Vijay's or George's character did justice with the culprit, which definitely exhilarated that moment, but also the overall writing where the details of the police station, the planning of the vacation and the indoctrinations of the surroundings were all placed like a piece of puzzle. Even being multilingual was also a setup at the beginning. Such nuanced writing is very important for these thrillers to stay in your mind for a long time, and VADH exactly falls to this place. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece work in this genre, but it's brilliant and paid off with truly outstanding execution. One aspect of the underwhelming thing, if I have to nitpick, is that the MLA character that they have built up was never introduced or not even left any scope for the sequel. But apart from that, it's a complete movie, having a proper arc to the characters, and the climax, the writer might have felt something like this while writing such gold. I know these types of movies rarely perform well at the box office, but this one truly deserves an audience. Far more than films like Mardani 3 and Border 2. Unfortunately, I missed the chance to see Maya Sava last week because the theater was so far from my location. I had planned to catch it this weekend, but now it's no longer showing in the theaters. So, do justice to the good contents before it's getting too late. And that's the video. So what are your thoughts on this movie? Let me know in the comments below. You can follow me on my socials. These are the handles. Thank you so much for watching. See you at the point of view.